Okay, here's a video from Fresh and Fit, and I haven't watched it yet. I just kind of play these and then react real time. So let's see what we got.
All right, ladies, let me ask you this. For a relationship to work, who needs to be the prize, the man or the woman?
Why should there be a prize?
The woman.
It shouldn't be either.
Let's just think it over. For a relationship to last,
Think about this.
Okay.
do you think the woman or the man needs to be the prize? So we'll do this with a raise of hands.
Okay.
Put in the comments what you think. I think that in the context that they speak on this show, he's usually referring to high value men, not just some, dummy that doesn't take care of himself and lives in his mom's basement. And therefore that would make the male the prize, because I've heard Myron discuss before about how since the women have much more specific and high standards, hypergamous cultures always do, that by default and definition kind of makes the man the prize. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. Let's see what they say.
If you think the woman needs to be the prize, please raise your hand for the relationship to last. That is a majority. Cool. So 2 girls think that. Now raise your hands if you think the man needs to be the prize. Just so I have a one. Only one.
What do you think? What's the question?
Which one do you think should be the prize? The man or the woman?
What do you think?
I don't really have an answer for that.
Okay.
I feel like, sorry.
In a different world.
So much depth with some of these guests on this show. It's just, I don't even know why you're there if you're not going to engage and speak.
Okay.
I feel like
Well, you know what? Someone take her to the bathroom so she can look at herself in the mirror. Please take her to the bathroom, bro, so she can figure this shit out, man.
What are you talking about? Figure.
Wow.
I just don't want to answer that.
Wow.
It doesn't really matter
It does matter.
Okay.
to you.
You were going to say something? Go ahead.
Well, for the women to be the prize, number one is because, first of all, she's bringing life into the world. I think that's very much, that brings power into the relationship, and that brings
We
importance.
just met.
Okay, no, I'm talking about long term. Like, you having a family, you want a family, you...
Yeah, but the person asking the question has even clarified they're not talking about during marriage. They're talking about in general.
Sacrifice more.
Sacrifice what? Because of your period?
Their body. What? If we're giving you babies, would you rather go be pregnant for 9 months?
You don't even want kids, nigga.
I just said 1
But
kid.
she's talking in general. You can't just say that.
Barely.
Okay, so you guys think that you're the prize then. Fair. Interesting.
You see more women giving up in a relationship than men. And you tell me you don't see that.
Say that again?
Woman will stay with a man even if he did her wrong multiple times because she don't want to start over.
That's
Men,
because she doesn't respect herself.
yeah, that too. But men can't handle when a woman does it back. Like, I've never seen where men was able to stand where what happened to his girl and that happened to him and he could hold it down.
This is what people do. They take cherry-picked examples from one side that helps make their argument, and cherry-picked examples, a lot of times even just anecdotal things, that prove someone wrong or change the outcome of the argument. We all know people that are on the boyfriend or husband side who put up with too much or don't put up with anything, and we all know people that are on the girlfriend or wife side who put up with way too much or don't put up with anything. It's not, you can make arguments for one side being more than the other, but there's plenty of people out there that if they find out their partner cheats, they're done. And there's plenty of people out there that if they find out their partner cheats, then they might say they're done, or they might want to work through it, and they end up sticking around. It's just people being people.
Yeah, they can't
mean
take
cheating?
it.
They can't take it.
You mean cheating?
Cheating or entertaining another female or something.
All right, let's have fun with this.
Wait.
Hold on.
Look,
I want all of you to put up 10 fingers.
Ooh,
Okay.
let's play a game. Another
All
game.
right, 10 fingers like this. All right, and what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have you name one thing about yourself that makes you a good girlfriend or a wife or whatever. So some redeeming quality about yourself that men would find interesting for a long-term relationship. So you can say, I'm a good cook. Boom, 1 finger down.
Oh.
Now, if you're also a good cook, I want you to take a finger down. So if she says, I'm a good cook, and the rest of you are good cooks, take a finger down. Fair? That's...
I think those instructions might even be too complicated for the panel, but we'll see.
your instructions. And then keep your hands up like this so we can constantly see how many fingers there are.
but sorry,
What?
I feel like that just does a majority. Like,
Can you just play the game?
All
Just
right,
play the game,
fine.
please.
All right, I want to see the point.
Okay. Name one thing about yourself.
I am a good cook, so.
Okay. If you're a good cook, ladies, take one finger down.
For everybody?
Awesome. Just so the audience can see. That's why we have your hands up, so we can see what girls have what. What about you? One thing about yourself.
I'm funny.
Okay. Ladies, if you're funny, you got a sense of humor, one finger down.
You're funny? That's funny.
What about you?
I'll keep you motivated in the gym.
Period.
Bruh. Like, come on. I'm not trying to be overly judgmental, but that girl is trying to claim that she's going to be getting you in the gym. I'm not trying to be mean. It's just one of those things where, you know, would you want to hire an accountant who had his finances completely disorganized and was in trouble with the IRS? I don't think so. Would you want to be counting on a personal trainer or someone to motivate you to work out that doesn't even look like they work out themselves? Who knows? Who knows? I'm being kind of a jerk right now. Who knows? Maybe she used to be 300 pounds and she's been dedicated and diligent and none of that. But I'm sure that given that this is the third person to say something, we could have had a better example from her than that. But anyways,
Be motivated in the gym, ladies. What about you?
I need that.
I'm loyal.
All right, ladies, if you're loyal, take a finger down. What about you?
Tank, talking on the record?
Sorry, I wasn't thinking.
What do you...
this is stuff that drives me crazy. You had the entire time with the first 4 people who already went to think of something. You started it off by trying to tell him a better way of doing the game and all these different things. You were involved in the conversation, and now it's gotten to you, and you believe that you're the prize and you're so special, but after all this time, you can't think of a single thing to even just be like, I'm a good listener, or something like that. You can't muster up a single thing that you bring of value.
Yeah.
I don't really do much. I mean, I'm smart. I'm smart.
Like, nah, bro.
I'm smart.
I'm so smart that I can't even think of one thing.
You can't tell me I'm not. You don't
I
know
mean,
me.
it took you 5 minutes to answer the question.
So I wasn't thinking about it. Sorry.
That means you're not. No.
Okay. You know
Okay.
what? Even though that doesn't really benefit the man, I will go ahead and say it. Use it.
So you're smart.
You're smart.
Yeah,
Fair.
you're smart.
So ladies, if
you're
you're
smart-
smart, take a finger down.
You're smart.
What about you?
I've been sober.
Could I say considerate and lenient? Like,
Sure.
I'm not-
Yeah.
If you're considerate, ladies, take a finger down. What about you, Miss Iraq?
I feel like we got the main ones. I'm down for whatever. Like, if you want to skydive, I'll skydive.
You're spontaneous.
Spontaneous, yes.
Okay, ladies, if you're spontaneous, take a
wait.
finger down. What about you?
I can keep a conversation.
If you're a good conversationalist, take a finger down. Okay. What about you?
I'm pretty.
I mean, she's right. It all benefits a guy.
All right.
I have more.
That's fine.
Okay.
We got, 9 girls here, right?
Yep. No, wait.
Is it 9 right?
Nah.
9. Okay. Name one more thing so that we name 10.
Okay, I'm understanding.
Ladies, if you're understanding, take one finger down. Okay. Who still has fingers left?
2.
Yeah, hold them up real quick just so I can see. Okay. Who has nothing left? You 2 are gone? Nothing left, nothing left. You have 3 left. You have 2 left.
Nah, I have nothing
2 left. You got nothing left. 2 left. Okay. So, you guys see what I just did here? All of you provide fairly the same thing.
Ta-da!
I was
So
just.
women are not as special. Women are not as special as they think they are. Now you were saying, right? Oh, you gotta go step out. Why is it that when a man cheats, the girl sticks by him, but when the woman cheats, he leaves? You want to know why? Because you guys are all the same.
That's not true.
No,
Let me
women love
speak on
differently.
that.
No.
Okay.
Hold on,
That's
ladies.
the point, though.
Guys, I know you've all heard the chick that says, good luck finding someone like me. I'm different. I'm not like everybody else. I mean, come on. Sure, everybody has specific personality traits that are unique to them. But in general, it's pretty much the same everywhere you go. And the reason that people that have legitimate and long-standing marriages end up making it work is because of certain principles they live by, obligations to each other, and there are some people out there who are uniquely different in good ways. But generally speaking, a lot of these modern women, modern men too, they're all the same. They just parrot everything they hear on TikTok. They can name the Kardashians, but they can't name actual relevant to life factual information. They are all the same, generally speaking.
That's the whole purpose.
Women love
Let me
different.
speak on
ladies,
that.
ladies. This was a method to the madness. She said, why is it that men are more willing to tolerate, why are women more willing to tolerate cheating from men? And then you said, but when women cheat back on him, he's out the door. I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because women, when it comes to what we want, all of you provide fairly the same thing because our standards are low. So if I get you, or if a man attracts a woman, he has to bring more to the table. Briffelt's law. That's just how it is. Men must provide way more value to get a girl. So if we are able to attract you, by definition, if you have high standards, which a lot of you guys did say you have high standards, that means I have to bring more to the table. If I have to bring more to the table, that means I'm able to get away with more things than you can. So in other words, it's harder for you to replace me than for me to replace you. So that's why I did that experiment. Name one thing about yourself that makes you attractive to men. All of you guys bring fairly the same thing to the table. So if you cheat on me, I could go get another you. But you can't necessarily go get another me.
Yes,
Kanye West famously said this. There's 1,000 yous, there's only one of me, right? And that's how it goes. The more famous, the more successful, the more money a man has.
And remember the context of this too. These women, when they go around the table, they'll ask them, what do you look for in a man? And these are the chicks that are saying, like, he needs to make at least $1 million a year or $500,000 a year. Some of them even said in the past, like $1 million a month, needs to be at least 6 feet tall, needs to be this, need to be that. And so if you're looking for the kind of guy who makes $1 million a month or even $500,000 a year and is 6 feet tall and attractive and athletic and whatever, that's a very, very, very small pool. So when you hear Myron say things like, you can't find another one of him, but he can find another one of you. If you're talking about the average guy, the guy who's stocking shelves at Walmart and doesn't work out and, goes home to his cat or his dog or whatever, like, yeah, you can find a replacement for that. But remember, these are the chicks that are on here and they're saying, like, they basically want NFL, NBA players. They want people of status. They want guys that drive, Rolls Royces, Lambos, things like that. They can take them on vacations and buy them stuff. So it is a much harder thing to replace. I thought about this when Kobe Bryant passed away. I thought, man, some people remarry. I don't know what Kobe's widow has planned for life, but there's just, you were married to Kobe. That's it. The end. There's no coming back from that.
The harder it is to replace him because women are picky. So in other words, you guys basically become victims of your own pickiness. All right, ladies, let me ask you this. For a relationship to work, who needs to be the prize? The man?
Sorry about that. These silly ads pop up and it restarted the video. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Who do you think should be the prize in a relationship? I think that if you're looking for what's considered a high value man, then that right there just says it. The man is the prize in the relationship. When you think of high value man, you think about someone who's successful and takes care of themselves and is in good shape, has respect in the community or in the office. And those things, when you have that whole package together, it's a hard thing to replace. And there's great women out there too, don't get me wrong. But as a man, I speak for the males because they're the ones that I talk to. They're my friends. It's the life that I live. And so that's what I know. Feel free to share this video, comment, subscribe, and thanks for being here.